Have you ever been caught off guard by a sudden ache? One that came without warning or explanation? Perhaps a strange heaviness in your chest, a sharp pain in your back, or a fatigue that lingers even after rest. And in that quiet moment, did you pause and ask yourself, is my body trying to tell me something deeper? In Buddhist teachings, the body is far more than muscle and bone. It is a sacred reflection of the mind, a vessel that carries the imprints of our karma. Every discomfort, every illness, every subtle imbalance may carry within it a message from the past, a consequence of thoughts, actions, and intentions once set in motion. Some people live, yet remain strong and full of life. Others seem to do everything right and still struggle with chronic ailments. Why is this so? The Buddha once taught, beings are the owners of their karma, heirs to their karma, born of their karma, related to their karma, and abide supported by their karma. This means that nothing arises without a cause, not even pain. And our suffering, no matter how confusing or painful, is not punishment. It is information, a lesson, an invitation to awaken. Your body is not against you. It is your guide. It reflects not only what you have consumed or neglected, but also what you have believed, feared, clung to, or avoided. In this video, we will gently explore how the body speaks the language of karma. We will reflect on how suffering can be a path, not a detour, toward liberation. And perhaps, through understanding the wisdom hidden in illness, you may begin to heal in ways that are not only physical, but also deeply spiritual. Take a breath, set aside judgment, and let your body, with all its imperfections and mysteries, become your teacher on the path of awakening. Chapter 1. The body as a mirror of karma. The body is not just a collection of cells, organs, and bones. It is a mirror, a sacred, living mirror, that silently reflects our karma to us. Every tension in your shoulders, every ache in your lower back, every skin irritation, is not just a random malfunction. It is the echo of causes planted long before, perhaps in moments you've long forgotten, or even in lifetimes you've never consciously remembered. According to Buddhist philosophy, karma is not punishment. It is not divine revenge. It is cause and effect, pure, just, and deeply personal. And the body, in its wisdom, becomes the canvas upon which this cosmic law paints its story. Your current physical condition, in many ways, is the accumulated result of your past actions, intentions, and thoughts. This is not meant to invoke guilt. It is meant to awaken responsibility. Let's consider a few examples. When we suppress anger, where does it go? It doesn't vanish. It burrows into our tissues, tightens our chest, and knots our stomach. Chronic pain in the jaw or tension in the neck. Perhaps a life spent silencing your voice. A stiff lower back? Maybe years of carrying emotional burdens without asking for support. The great Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh once said, "The body remembers." And he was right. The body remembers everything, especially the things the mind is too afraid to confront. But here lies the beauty. If karma is a mirror, then transformation begins with observation. When we truly listen to our body, without judgment, we begin to understand what it has been trying to tell us all along. This is not about becoming a doctor. It's about becoming present. If your knees ache, ask, where am I unwilling to bend in life? If your chest feels tight, ask, what am I holding in that I long to release? If your body is fatigued, ask, where in my life am I carrying what is not mine? This inquiry is not just physical, it is spiritual. You are not just healing a muscle. You are healing a memory. And in doing so, you begin to write a new karmic path, one of awareness, compassion, and alignment. So the next time your body speaks, through pain, fatigue, discomfort, don't silence it. Don't rush to numb it. Sit with it. Listen, because perhaps, just perhaps, that pain is not an enemy, but a forgotten teacher, gently reminding you of the lesson you are finally ready to learn. Chapter 2. Listening with compassion. If the body is a mirror of karma, then true healing begins not with resistance, but with compassionate listening. Too often, we respond to discomfort with frustration. We want it gone, quickly, quietly, completely. We pop pills to numb it, distract ourselves to ignore it, or pretend it's not there. But the Buddha taught that suffering, when embraced with mindfulness, becomes the very doorway to liberation. And that applies not just to mental pain, but to physical pain as well. To listen with compassion means to sit with your body the way a mother sits beside her crying child, not to silence it, but to understand it. Imagine this: your body aches. Your back is tight. Your skin flares up. Instead of cursing the discomfort, what if you gently asked, "What are you trying to tell me?" What if the inflammation in your joints isn't just a medical condition, but a residue of old resentment still burning within? What if the chronic fatigue isn't just poor sleep, but years of saying yes to others while saying no to your soul? This is not to reject science or medicine. It is to expand it, to include the soul's voice alongside the body's symptoms. Listening with compassion means being fully present with yourself. It means touching your pain, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually, with kindness. No blame, no shame, just awareness. It may sound simple, but in truth, it's one of the most radical things you can do. Because the world teaches you to fight your body, to fix it, change it, judge it. But Buddhism invites you to do something far deeper, to befriend it. Your body is not the enemy. It is the messenger. And like all messengers, it only shouts when it feels unheard. So soften your breath. Place your hand where it hurts. Close your eyes and say, "I hear you." In that stillness, something sacred begins to happen. The pain starts to shift, not because it's forced to, but because it's finally been seen. Healing, then, is not a battle to win. It is a relationship to nurture. And compassion is the language that allows that relationship to grow. Chapter 3: How Karma Embeds in the Body Through Emotions. Karma is not just a cosmic tally sheet of good and bad deeds. It is the subtle energy of our intentions, the imprints left behind by every emotion we fail to process, every truth we refuse to feel. And the body remembers. Not metaphorically, literally. When you suppress grief, it doesn't vanish. It settles into your chest, constricting your breath like a hand gripping your ribs. When you bottle up anger, it doesn't disappear. It hardens in your jaw, your shoulders, your gut. Unexpressed emotions don't die. They embed. This is where modern science begins to converge with ancient insight. The field of psychoneuroimmunology shows that chronic stress and unresolved emotions can dysregulate the immune system, weaken organs, and manifest as persistent physical symptoms. What Buddhist teachings offer is a language for that truth. Karma as energetic residue. Think of your body as a field. Every emotion is a seed. If you plant seeds of resentment, they grow into tension. If you sow anxiety, it blooms into restlessness and insomnia. If you bury shame, it festers in the darkness and grows thorns. But if you plant mindfulness, presence, and forgiveness, the body becomes a sanctuary, a garden where karma is no longer punishment, but purification. This is why Buddhist practice does not begin with the mind alone. It includes the breath, the posture, and the bodily awareness. When you sit in meditation, you are not escaping your body. You are meeting it. You are giving space for the emotional imprints to rise, to breathe, and to be released. Healing karma is not about erasing the past. It's about honoring what it left behind and choosing to respond differently now. So the next time you feel a wave of emotion, tightness in your chest, heat behind your eyes, nausea in your belly, pause, breathe, and ask, what is this emotion trying to teach me? What action did I take that left this echo? And what choice can I make now to stop passing this pain forward? When you answer these questions not with judgment, but with courage, you begin to free your body from the weight of your past. You begin to live not as a prisoner of karma, but as a conscious participant in your liberation. And that, perhaps, is the true purpose of the body, not to punish, but to awaken. Chapter 4: Pain as a teacher of awakening. Pain is not your enemy. It is your messenger. In the quiet hours of suffering, when your body aches, when the nights feel endless, when illness seems to steal everything, something deeper is being asked of you. Not to escape, not to numb, but to listen. From the Buddhist perspective, pain is not a punishment. It is a profound invitation to wake up, to return to the present moment with honesty, humility, and compassion. When we experience pain, especially chronic or unexplainable pain, our first instinct is resistance. We fight against it. We judge it. We ask, why me? But Buddhist teachings gently shift the question. What is this pain trying to awaken in me? Physical pain is the loud voice of karma, a call for attention that something somewhere, has gone unacknowledged. It may be the echo of past actions or the accumulation of years of emotional repression, but it is never random. Consider this: when you burn your hand, the pain doesn't come to punish you. It comes to protect you, to pull your hand away from the fire before greater damage is done. In the same way, deeper pain is a signal, a guardian, a truth teller. Some Buddhist masters describe pain as a doorway to compassion. When we suffer, we are cracked open, and through that crack, the light of understanding can enter. We begin to see that all beings suffer, and in that seeing, our heart softens. We no longer look at others' pain with detachment. We recognize ourselves in it. This is why in many Buddhist traditions, meditators are encouraged not to escape discomfort, but to turn toward it, to breathe into the sensation, to soften the resistance, and to witness it without fear. Because within every sensation, even the sharpest pain, lies the seed of awareness. And awareness is the beginning of liberation. So if you are hurting now, in your body, in your mind, in your soul, pause. Don't push it away. Sit with it like an old teacher returning with a lesson you missed. Ask yourself, what is this pain opening in me? What illusions is it breaking down? And what wisdom is waiting on the other side of this fire? For pain, when met with presence, ceases to be suffering. It becomes a transformation. And in that sacred shift, karma becomes grace. Chapter 5. Rewriting your karma through conscious living. Karma is not fate. It is not a life sentence handed down from the heavens. It is a living force, shaped and reshaped by every thought, every word, every action. In the Buddhist tradition, karma means action. But more than that, it means the consequences born of intention. What you plant in your mind and body today becomes the fruit of your life tomorrow. The good news? You are not bound to your past karma like a prisoner. You are its author, and you can rewrite the story. To live consciously is to become aware of the seeds you are planting in every moment. Are you sowing anger, fear, and envy? Or are you cultivating patience, kindness, and clarity? Every moment becomes an opportunity to pause, reflect, and redirect the trajectory of your life. Many people believe karma is only from past lives. But just as powerful is the karma of your present choices. What you eat, how you speak to a loved one, how you treat your own body. These ripple through your future in ways you may never see, but always feel. This is why mindfulness is at the heart of Buddhist practice. To live mindfully is to live with the awareness that everything matters. Not in a way that causes anxiety or guilt, but in a way that awakens reverence. You begin to see your body not just as a vessel, but as a field of karma, where love, integrity, and presence can grow. And the more you live this way, with eyes open, breath deep, steps gentle, the more your karma transforms. Your relationships shift, your health shifts, your inner world becomes lighter. But conscious living is not about perfection. It's about presence. Even in failure, you have the power to return to awareness. To say, I see my mistake. I breathe with it. I learn from it. This very act dissolves karmic weight. The greatest karmic cleanse is not in rituals or ceremonies, but in simple, daily truthfulness. To live in truth, to act with love, to treat your pain as a mirror and your joy as a blessing. This is how you rewrite the script. Not by force, but by understanding. You don't have to be a saint to purify your karma. You just have to be awake. In that awakening, your body softens. Your heart steadies. And your life becomes a prayer, not of fear, but of liberation. Chapter 6. The body's final message. Illness as a spiritual wake-up call. Illness is not a punishment. It is a message, urgent, unwavering, and deeply intimate. In Buddhism, sickness is often seen as a sacred teacher. It arrives not to destroy us, but to awaken us, to shake us out of the trance of unconscious living. When we are too entangled in the noise of the world, the body becomes the last frontier where our soul can speak. A fever may burn away attachments. A broken limb may halt our relentless chase for more. A chronic condition may humble the ego and soften our judgments. In these moments, we are forced to confront what we've long avoided. Illness brings clarity. It strips away the superficial, the career ambitions, the endless to-do lists, the illusions of control, and leaves us face to face with the truth we've buried. We are impermanent, and we are not in control. But that is not a curse. That is the beginning of wisdom. When we fall ill, we can either recoil in fear or lean into awareness. We can ask, what is this discomfort teaching me about resistance? What emotions am I being invited to release? Where in my life have I stopped living with presence? In Buddhism, healing is not always about eliminating symptoms. It is about coming back into harmony with the deeper self, with the flow of karma, with the dharma, the truth of how things are. Sometimes, healing means becoming whole through surrender, letting go of the need to be fixed, and instead, learning how to simply be. Your body, even in pain, is not betraying you. It is guiding you. It is begging you to listen, perhaps for the first time, with the ears of your soul. Chapter 7. Liberation through acceptance. The body as a temple of impermanence. We live in a culture that worships permanence, youth, strength, and perfection. But the body, in its honest wisdom, teaches us the opposite. It ages. It changes. It softens. It fades. This is not failure. This is the truth. In Buddhist teachings, impermanence, anicca, is not a philosophical concept. It is an invitation to liberation. When we accept the impermanence of the body, we begin to release the suffering caused by our resistance to it. Your wrinkles are not flaws. Your scars are not shameful. They are the sacred scripts of your journey, each one a testimony of your becoming. To resist the body's changes is to resist life itself. To embrace them is to awaken. The body is not a burden to carry. It is a temple, one that will eventually return to dust, yes, but for now, it is your home, your teacher, your sacred mirror. And when we meet that truth with reverence, with tenderness, something opens within us, a space of stillness, a softening of the ego, a clarity of being. In that space, we stop fighting. We stop needing to be better. We begin to simply live. This is the moment when suffering transforms into peace. Not because the pain has disappeared, but because we are no longer afraid of it. We see it. We allow it. We bow to it. And in that bow, something dissolves, the illusion of separateness. We are no longer just a body. We are awareness itself, watching, learning, evolving. Final reflection. The body is the Dharma, so what is the lesson beneath all this? Your body is not just skin and bone. It is a scripture, written in the language of karma, memory, and awakening. Every ache is a verse. Every symptom, a syllable. Every healing, a return to the sacred. The Buddha once said, "In this fathom-long body, I proclaim the world, the origin of the world, the cessation of the world, and the path leading to the cessation of the world." In other words, everything we seek, peace, truth, liberation, can be found not by escaping the body, but by returning to it with awareness, compassion, and humility. If your body trembles, listen. If it breaks, hold it gently. If it heals, offer gratitude. And above all, remember this: you are not your body, but your body is your mirror. And through it, the universe, your karma, your past, your path, is lovingly revealed. Treat it not as a prison, but as a temple, not as a burden, but as a compass. And it will carry you, not just through life, but through awakening. This is the sacred path of the body. This is the wisdom of Buddhist teachings. This is the mirror of karma.